So let's talk about Winnie the Pooh. Now, for those of you who maybe are a little newer to kind of these concepts of copyright, when it comes to copyright held by, in this case, Disney, to Winnie the Pooh, the character, they're the ones that are allowed to replicate its likeness, right? To replicate the copyright in the image. So now we have and what will we call it? It's a horror / comedy.
It's
Is
an
from what I'm reading.
opportunity. It's a publicity opportunity.
And they're not going to get sued by Disney. And that's because the copyright in the Winnie the Pooh original character, which was published in October of 1926, officially expired in January of this year. So it's only been 5 months that it went into what's called the public domain, right? So when a copyrighted work like a song, a literary work, an image, when the copyright for that expires, it goes into the public domain, which means the public gets to use it. So that's why a filmmaker can come in and say, great, I'm going to make a slasher film about Winnie the Pooh. And, and there's some caveats to this. So we're going to jump into it. Let me kind of pull this up on my side, because I just want to have this kind of bigger screen.
Yeah. So yeah, no, this is pretty
I
crazy.
want to pull it up. You can take off the overlay. Yeah, so Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, director teases slasher film plot. Pooh and Piglet go on a rampage. So I want to jump really.
This is important because it's just Pooh and Piglet, because they were the only ones that were back in public domain. Like Tigger and like Eeyore and stuff, they're still under copyright, so they're not going to be in it.
Yeah, and so the evolution of Winnie the Pooh, I pulled this up because I thought this was so stinking great. So Dave Lee Down Under has a YouTube channel, and he did a full-length 30-minute video explaining the full evolution of Winnie the Pooh, right? So this is how he started in 1926 as a little naked guy, and this is where we're at today. So I've linked that video already on YouTube in the description, so if you guys want to check that out, please do. But basically what can happen is that since now this version of Winnie the Pooh is in the public domain, that means a creator can come and make their own Winnie the Pooh that's based on this character. They can't, however, if their Winnie the Pooh had the little red shirt, well, they're going to get into trouble. That's not the version that you can go and create your own version on. So that's why specifically in this film, I believe he's not wearing the red shirt, but he's wearing like a lumberjack. Yeah, so I thought that visual was very nice, but let's go back to here we are right here. All right, so the story lapses into basically, some different scenes of killing people, but in the trailer, I guess there's a young woman. She's relaxing in a hot tub, and let me just show you this picture. So she's just chilling in the hot tub, and then
look at Piglet.
Piglet and Winnie the Pooh back here. And I guess, of course, they end up running her over with a vehicle. And so in the article, it just kind of describes that while, of course, it's graphic and horror-based in nature, there still is kind of a, funny component or humorous component to it, in the fact that you can see the back of Winnie the Pooh's, ears as he's getting ready to run over this poor woman.
Look at that Piglet mask. Like, you could see it's just like a Piglet mask. It looks like it's just like a Halloween store. Like, they just went real quick and they're like, oh my God, did you see this is happening? Yo, let's just go to the party store, grab a Pooh mask, grab a pig mask, and let's go.
Our childhood, oh my, yes. And guys, I mean, when it comes to these extensions, because the way that copyright law, originally was, you'd get copyright protection for your works for only 14 years. And then it got extended. The extension was for, 14 years, and then it went to 28 years, and then it went to 56 years. And these extensions have perpetually continued because, quite frankly, because of Disney, because of Mickey Mouse, and them petitioning Congress to change the law. So the law has been changed to continuously extend the copyright. But even the Disney copyright for Mickey Mouse is coming up, and I think we have about 1.5 years, 2 years on that.
Yeah,
that's going to be crazy when Mickey Mouse enters the public domain.
Crazy. Now, So, I mean, now that you kind of see some of it, like, what do you think? Do you think like I think I saw that this was like shot over like 10 days or something like that. So, I mean, it was like a rush job. But like, do you think this is going to be good? Because I mean, childhood stories turned into horror, films or whatever, or more intense movies, like it could work. It has worked. I mean, I think of just like right off the bat with like the Little Red Riding Hood and Freeway comes to mind with Kiefer Sutherland and Reese Witherspoon. That's one that comes to mind instantly. Then like there was one with like Hansel and Gretel, like that was really cool. And just there's, childhood stories, and I believe there's been tons of like Snow White ones. So I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting, what they can do, but those are obviously written, by other people and have been adapted other ways. So it'll be curious with this Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, look, I mean, the director for this film said that they shot the film over the course of, I think it was 12 hours. And so, the
Oh,
overall
that was 10 days.
creative cinematography value, we don't know what that's going to be. But as it relates to just the general conversation of, is this even fair? Right. So if you're, someone who creates something like, a character or a book or a song, the way that copyright is set up right now is that you have copyright protection for the term of your life plus 70 years. So 70 years after you pass. But then it enters the public market. And so this idea that we can create something that is ours and that we of course want to pass down to our heirs and our grandchildren, but at some point it won't be. So, one way to kind of think of this is that fair in that if I go and I buy a chair and that chair becomes my heirloom thing that I'm going to pass down generationally, is it fair that at some point the government's just going to say, nope, that's going to enter the general market and the public will get it? That's one way to look at this. Or conversely, you can just say, you can just say it's going to go back into the open market because we want creators to be able to create. And we want them to be able to take these characters now and innovate and add to them. So that's kind of both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's very cool. Very cool. I mean, it's somebody obviously just kind of like taking advantage of it. So
Yeah, and they certainly are. Look, and they're getting some press. So, if any of you end up watching this, let's do a little check-in on another live stream, and you can let me know your thoughts. I represent a lot of filmmakers who make kind of this style of film, right? So it's horror slash comedy, and it's successful in certain markets, and people love this type of film. So, I'm
well, I
sure there'll be
mean, there's
people who like it.
also it's not even just that. I mean, I guess that also opens it up to adult films as well. So you could find some Winnie the Pooh and Piglet adult entertainment soon.
Oh my goodness. This is correct. And look, we represent adult entertainers as well.